His name was Daniel. He was a businessman. He was a very important businessman in the region of Valencia in Spain. He had a lot of money. He has several businesses. He was a wealthy guy. Un hombre rico. Con muchos negocios y mucho dinero. But one day, when he arrived back home, his wife was no longer at home. He spent his life running after money. And one day, when he went back home, his wife was not there. She abandoned him. She left him for another man. And he felt himself miserable. He got into depression. He even thought about killing himself, about committing suicide. He spent 2 or 3 years of his life going nowhere. He found himself lost. Remember the story. I will finish the story at the end of the sermon. I've been in the army. I spent 1 year of my life in the Marine Corps. Yeah. Yeah. And I remember when I arrived there, because I didn't ask. I didn't ask to go to the army. In Spain, you were forced to give 1 year of your life to the army. And in my case, it's like when they, drop the bang, and the number that it comes out is your number. I went to the Marines, an elite corps, only 600 young guys went to the Marine Corps a year in Spain. Only 600. Well, I was one of them. And the first thing they did to me, when if I had another opportunity, if I have another opportunity to come back in another camporee or another meeting, I will share some stories about the Marines. But I remember the first thing that happened to me when I finished my first training of 25 days. 25 very difficult days. When I finished my training, there was a special weekend for the new ones. So they put us together. We were around 500, 600 guys in a camp, sleeping in tents, not like these ones. You have very good tents. So imagine, sleeping in tents. And the first activity we did, it was on Sabbath night, and we were supposed to walk the entire night with a backpack of 30 kilos, the helmet, the rifle, the entire night walking, just walking. nothing else than walk. And I remember I was in that walk, with my rifle, my backpack, walking. And then all of a sudden, a corporal asked me, "Hey guy, you. I said, "What? Where's your helmet?" My helmet? It's in the backpack. You don't have your helmet in the backpack. Where's your helmet? It has to be there. I put it there. I don't see your helmet. And that's property of the Marines Corps. If you have lost your helmet, prepare. Get ready to be punished. Oh man, I did the next 4 or 5 hours walking. I walked trembling. What are they going to do to me? What are they going to do to me? And before we started this camp, we heard stories of what happened to another soldier in the camp before. The captain of that camp, he was a very, very, very strong man, disgusting. He punished one of the soldiers so much that soldier, at the end of the camp, decided to kill himself. He got his own rifle. He pointed in his mouth, and he killed himself. So I had that in my head. What is that guy going to do to me? I mean, what is that guy going to do to me? Imagine 3-4 hours walking with that thought in your head. When we arrived to the camp, it was early in the morning. We walked the entire night. The corporal came with me to see if my helmet was in the tent. And I praise the Lord because the helmet was in the tent. I didn't lose it. I just forgot it in the tent. They said, "Okay, because you didn't lose it, you only forgot it. Your punishment is not going to be that hard." So I went to talk with that captain, the captain that punished that soldier in the previous camp so much that guy decided to kill himself. And he told me, "You're not going back with your friends. You're going to get your pick. You're going to go there, and you're going to dig a hole the size of 2 rifles long, 1 rifle wide, and 1.5 rifle deep. No water, no food. That's the only thing you're going to do from now until the camp is over." So I started. It was summer in the south of Spain. The south of Spain summer is almost like Texas. But I'm talking about the desert part of Texas. The heat, the sun is terrible. So I start digging. And there was one soldier with his rifle looking at me. I couldn't stop. Not even 1 minute to rest. So I dig and I dig and I dig that hole and I dig that hole for hours and hours, almost 24 hours nonstop. Just because I forgot my helmet inside the tent. And while I was digging, I was telling Jesus, what? I mean, do you think that's fair? Do you think it's fair for me? I mean, I just forgot. I remember at the end of that day, my hands, they were bleeding. My hands, my fingers, they were bleeding. I didn't drink, I didn't eat for a day until I finished that hole. And that was the beginning of my army experience. So I said to myself, what's going to happen to me in this next year? I'm going to die here. I mean, these people is going to kill me.
See what it looks
No
like.
water, food. That's the only thing you're going to do from now until the camp is over. I have a double. Every night when I went back to my bed, I was praying Jesus. And I found it. I was asking him, help me to understand, because I don't know why. I don't know why I have to suffer this experience. I mean, I'm trying to be faithful to you. I'm trying to read my Bible. I'm trying to pray to you. I'm trying to be in contact, in tune with you every day. Why these things had to happen to me? And I found it it's two Bible verses in the Bible. They're together. I love them. You don't know how many times I already read these Bible verses. If you have your Bibles, you can find them in the book of Isaiah, chapter number 40. Isaiah chapter number 40, verses 30 and 31. Even youths, how many of you guys are a little bit tired tonight? I want to see your hands. Only a little bit? Hey, you're tired, man. The Bible is telling us, even youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. Even if you're young, you will get tired. And I remember when I was younger. Tomorrow I will explain you an experience about football. And when I'm talking about football, estoy hablando ahora mismo del fútbol de verdad. I'm talking about the real football, okay? The one you play with your feet. Yeah, I love football. I love football. Well, tomorrow I will share an experience. I've been a professional football player for 2 years. For 2 years. But now the ball is here. So I cannot play anymore. Well, when I was a young guy, when I was younger, I used to play football. You understand, everybody, that I'm talking about the football, huh? Okay, football. I used to play football. I know it's soccer, but it's football. I could play in a Sunday. That's the only thing. 2-3 games in a row, non-stop. 2-3 games in a row. Football, 90 minutes. 2-3 games without stopping playing football. South of Spain, it's almost like Texas. And when I'm talking about to bed, desert part of kind of Texas. Tired. Today, I cannot even run from here to the first pole. So I start digging. But when you're young, there's a moment, even if you have a lot of energy, because you have a lot of energy. I know. I had that energy before. The Bible is telling you, even if you're young, you will get tired. In your life, you will get tired, and you will get tired of many things. Even in your Christian life, the Bible is telling you that in your Christian life, en tu vida cristiana, te vas a agotar. The Bible is telling you that in your Christian life, you will get tired sometimes. Things will happen to you. Algunas cosas te van a ocurrir que no vas a entender. Things will happen to you that you won't understand why this is happening to me. I don't deserve it. The Bible is telling you, even you young people, you can get tired. That's verse number 30. But if you go to verse number 31, the first word of that verse is extraordinary. Even youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But the Bible is telling you, you will get tired. You will grow tired. It will get a moment in your life, even in your Christian life, that you will get tired. But, And that's a simple word, but it changed everything. But those who hope in the Lord. If you have hope in the Lord, if you go back to Jesus, if you have your hope in Jesus, even though you will grow tired, the Bible is telling you that you will renew your strength. Jesus will give you the strength to try again, to do it again. He will renew your strength. Even though you're tired, He will give you strength again. He will renew your strength. And it says, these young people, they will soar on wings like eagles. They will soar on wings like eagles. Levantarán alas como las águilas. Levantarán alas como las águilas. The eagle is one of my favorite animals. It's a beautiful animal. It's so beautiful. And the eagle in the United States, you know, the bald, you know, the white-head eagle. Oh, wow. The one that represents your country is my favorite, even though I'm from Spain. But I love that eagle. Why the Bible is telling you and me? Why the Bible is telling you that you will go, you will soar on wings like eagles. Why? When you're tired, when you're destroyed, you said, I don't want to go to church anymore. I don't want to go to Pathfinders. I don't want to go to that camp. I don't want to go to that activity. Jesus is telling you, I'll give you strength. And you will feel yourself like if you have wings, like eagles. And you know why? Let me share a story with you. In the army, we used to do activities together with the USA Army. I don't know why, but the Spaniard Army did some activities together with the US Army. So I remember one special activity we did together. They had these, helicopters with two, wow, Apaches. The helicopters in Spain, they're little ones. So here the Americans come with the big things, always. You guys, the big things. So they ask, to our captain in our company. He said, okay, the Americans are offering us to do an activity with them, and the activity is as follows, The helicopter will be up on the air, and they will drop a long, thick cord. That cord will go to the ground. You will be in the ground. You will be there with a harness, like the one you use to do rock climbing. And then that cord has like hangers, You will hang your harness on that cord, and that helicopter will start to go up and up and up, and you will go up hanging on a cord. Any volunteer? Well, I was one of those. Said, yo, me. I want to do it. I've been a Pathfinder my entire life, so even at the army, I was a Pathfinder. I said, I want to do it. I don't have an helicopter here, I'm sorry. I want to do it. So my captain said, okay, go to that place and they will prepare you. I went there, and I remember I was nervous. The guy who was beside me, because we were in pairs, together. The guy who was beside me was African-American, like 2 heads taller than me. He was big. Man, respect for that man. So I remember we hang, we got in, hang in that cord, and the helicopter start to go up and up and up. And I remember they explained me, when you're up in the air and the helicopter will fly, if you open one arm, you will turn around like this. If you open both arms, your body will, so you will feel like you're flying. Man, that was an amazing activity. You should do something similar for the next camporee. And I remember I was hanging there, and the helicopter started to go up and to go up, and I saw my friends, cowards. They didn't want it to do it, but they were there. So I was going up and up and up, and I saw them, and while I was going up, I saw them smaller. I mean, they were the same size, but they looked smaller to me. While I was going up with the helicopter, hanging there, I was looking down, and they were going smaller and smaller and smaller, smaller. Until they were little like this, like ants. My friends, they were down there. I knew they were there. But I was flying in the clouds. So while I was looking down, I saw my friends little like this. And I thought, while I was reading those Bible verses, I thought, man, that's the reason God, you want us to go up in wings like eagles. That's the reason you want us to go up in wings like eagles. Esa es la razón por la que el Señor nos dice que nos dará fuerzas para que volemos hasta arriba en alas de águila. Como las águilas. ¿Por qué? Why? There's a simple reason. There's a simple answer. You will live with problems your entire life. Don't you think life is going to treat you fair always? No, that's not life. The real life is like the Bible is telling you, you will get tired. But there's another truth that is even more important than that one. God is with you. And He's going to give you wings. And you're going to be flying with Jesus high. And you will have problems in your life. You will continue having problems in your life. But you will see the problems from a different perspective. And even though your problems will be there, you will see them smaller. Like I saw my friends, little ants in the ground. Jesus is telling you, when there's a storm in your life, and you will have storms in your life, and I don't know what kind of storms you can probably have in right now. I don't know if it's studies, or at home with your parents, or with your brothers, or with your friends. I don't know, but I'm positive that you have a storm in your life. And Jesus is telling you, if you have a storm in your life, come to me. Come to me, and I will give you wings like eagles. You will fly, and you will see your problems from God's perspective. And it changed everything. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Do you want me to finish the story of that guy? Daniel, the Spaniard guy who lost his wife. Life is exciting. He thought about killing himself, committing suicide. But God had a plan for him. And we're talking about a guy who didn't know God. In Spain, there's not that many people that believes in God. Not many. We're just a few. That guy didn't believe in God. He believed in business. He believed in money. And that was it. But one day his life was a misery. And after 1 year and a half, almost 2 years, grieving and thinking about what I'm going to do with my life, he found a woman on Facebook. Hey, be careful with Facebook, huh? Tened cuidado con Facebook, eh? Even though this story is a positive one about Facebook, there's many dangers in that thing, huh? But this guy met a woman on Facebook, and they start chatting. Okay, blah, 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 I had a problem in my life. It's like people find it easier to talk with somebody that he doesn't know. So he started talking with this woman, and he started sharing with her his problems in life. She was from Argentina. Argentina is really far from Spain, even though we speak the same language, but it's far. And after chatting with her several months, like 6 or 8 months, he said, oh, wow, that's the woman I want to marry. So he decided to do one thing. He sold all his businesses. He sold all his companies. And he got the money. And he went to Argentina to meet the love of his life. Well, he arrived there. He arrived into Argentina. And he met that woman. He started talking to her. They're starting to know better one another, And one day before they got married, this Argentinian lady told him, look, there's one thing you need to know about me. I'm an Adventist. So I'm going to ask you, before even we think about getting married, that you will respect the way I believe. And he was, what is that Adventist, In Spain, I have to admit, not everybody knows about Adventists. Probably not even in Texas, huh? What is this thing in the Advent? What is that? So she explained him a little bit, and he said, no, I'm going to respect you, no problem at all. I'm going to respect you. I would like to know a little better in what you believe. So he started to study the Bible with her and with the pastor. I know the story because the pastor who studied the Bible with him told me the story, and I had the possibility of calling him on the phone and talking with him. Good man. He started to study the Bible with the pastor, with his wife-to-be, and after 6-8 months studying deep the Bible, he decided to get baptized. And he said one word. He said one sentence. I would like you to engrave this sentence in your heart. Me gustaría que os grabaseis esta frase en vuestros corazones. He said one special sentence. He said, I came to Argentina looking for love. I escaped from Spain because I felt miserable. I escaped from Spain and I went to Argentina trying to find love. And what had happened is that I found Jesus. I would like to ask you, my friends, my pathfinders, what are you looking for in life? What are you looking for in life? Are you looking for money? Are you looking for business? Believe me one thing. Wherever you will go, Jesus will accompany you. And the day you will be ready, you will find Jesus. And if that already happened to your life, and if you already found Jesus, if you're already committed to Jesus, praise the Lord. And like that Argentinian woman, never leave Jesus apart. Make him the one that will be walking with you every single step of your life. And he will be the one that will give you a shelter in your storm, like he did with Daniel, like he did with me. He will do it with you if you believe. God bless you. Ask Jesus to give you wings like eagles. Look for Jesus, and you will find peace.